everyone, welcome to this class. Today I explain you about friction. So when you walk on ground, it is friction that lets you walk. Okay? If the friction suddenly reduces, like when you step on banana peel or step on water, you slip and fall. When friction reduces, things slide more easily against each other. See this one? When friction increases, it is difficult for things to slide against each other. See here. In which case did the ball roll more? It rolled more on the floor. That is because the floor is smooth surface and the friction is less. When a surface is smooth, the friction is less. When a surface is rough, the friction is more. This time the friction is more. Friction is the force that opposes motion. That means it acts opposite to the direction of motion. When the friction is more, it is difficult for a thing to slide. Okay? The flooring in outdoor public places like footpaths has to be rough. That's why even if it rains, we do not slip on the footpath. You must have seen plates like this put on the staircase at the railway station or theatres. Why do we need them? They increase friction so that people do not slip and fall as they climb up and down the stairs. So you have to remember that smooth surfaces decreases friction and rough surfaces increase friction. Look at the sole of different shoes. You should be able to guess which one is more likely to make you slip. What happens when you apply the brakes on your bicycle? The bicycle stops. Then how? You press the brake lever on the handle. And the brake is actually on the wheel. Can you see it? See this one? When you press the brake lever, the brake presses against the wheel. The friction stops the motion of the wheel and the bicycle stops. Now where else do we want friction to increase? When we drive a car, the friction between the tires and the road makes sure that the car does not slip or skid. Look closely at the tire. Do you see the grooves on the tire? Just see the grooves. The grooves on the tire increase friction and make sure the car does not skid when you drive it. As you drive the car a lot, the tires slowly become bald, which means the grooves wear away and the tire gets smoother. Can you see the tire that has become bald? When this happens, you have to change the tire. What do you think? What do you do when you play carom? You flick the striker and try to push the coins in this one. What is this white thing in it? This is the boric powder. You know why do we sprinkle this? So that we can reduce the friction between the striker and the board. Just see, now this time friction is very less. The surface of the slide in the park is made very smooth. Only then can you slide down quickly. Okay. Why do you put oil in the moving parts of your bicycle regularly? Oiling reduces the friction between the moving parts of the cycle. That makes the ride easier and smoother. Bicycle and other machines have ball bearing too. it helps to reduce the friction force and damage. So the frictional force can be increased or decreased depending on what we are doing. So the friction is a force that acts on moving objects only. Force of friction works in the direction opposite to the motion. Friction slows down, but it also stops us from slipping. What did we just learn from here? By making surface rough, we increase friction. By making surface smooth, we decrease friction. So we increase or decrease friction depending upon what our need is. Right, everyone? Now I explain you types of friction. There are 3 types of friction. First one is static friction. Second is sliding or dynamic or kinetic. It has 3 names. And third one is rolling friction. Okay. Now come to the first one. Static friction. When a force is applied on a body at rest place on the surface such that it does not move, then the force of friction developed between the 2 surfaces in contact is known as static friction. Now just see the examples here. Here a man is pushing a car and car is not moving. So it means static friction is applied between them. Same as this block that is kept on a table and it is not moving, and we are applying force on it but it is not moving, so that time static friction is applied between them. Now come to the sliding friction. The force of friction which comes into play when a body is in motion is known as dynamic or kinetic, or you can say sliding friction. Now just see this example. Here the box is sliding on the table. So the friction is applied between box and the table. So this is called dynamic friction, or you can say sliding friction. Come to the next, rolling friction. In this friction, the force of friction which comes into play when a body rolls on the surface of another body is known as rolling friction. Now just see this example. In this example, a ball is rolling on the surface of table. So the friction is applied between the ball and table. So this friction is called rolling friction. It means the value of static friction is greater than sliding friction, and the value of sliding friction is greater than the rolling friction. Okay everyone, thank you.